my god, a stream, yeah. Hey Studio, hey Norbite. I have no idea how these sound volumes are. Just gonna put it really low, it's just background noise. Should be fine. It's probably very quiet music, but that's not the focus anyway. Felt like just tinkering around tonight, so I felt it was stream worthy. No spoilers or anything. Well, I actually did forget to test something that's secret stuff, Norbite stuff. I'm not going to do that on stream. Well, apparently some of it. Yeah, Norbite is around and doing well. Became a moderator as well, recently. On the Discord. Crazy place. I'm not sure if I generated an AI grid. Yeah. Boy. So how's it going, Studio? You got back home a while the last time I saw you? The boat trip was cool? Good? Yes, you do need to unmute the stream. I was basically saying hello and asking how your trip back from Norway went the last time I saw you. If the boat trip was enjoyable and all that. Hello? Oh, that what? I couldn't select the sidebar thing. Even though we only met once, that's still the last time I saw you. What level are you when you get out in the swamps? You're about level 4, aren't you? Huh, yeah. About time, wasn't it? I'm gonna have to create a bunch of these. Someone on the Larian Discord, I think it was, hold on, I'm gonna check. King Feraligator. I think I'm pronouncing that name right. He was talking about some respawning patrols and stuff. I figured that might be a good thing to look into and experiment with a bit to like keep the content a bit fresh, or rather alive. Right now on the islands you have 6 or 7 islands, and once you kill everything on it, it's a dead area. And it's not really a spoiler, like in Chronicles you have the islands that you can explore, and it's the whole thing with Brachus Rex and using the swamps to experiment with his stuff in the past. So part of Chronicles is like you're discovering another one of those old relics outside of the Wands and the Shriekers and all that, and the Magisters catches a hold of this and they want, you know, to get their hands on that first, and it's this whole kind of race, like the Seekers want it, the Magisters want it, and you're in the middle of it. I might do some snow mapping later actually. It's on my agenda, like if I get tired of what I'm doing here, I'm either gonna do some music composing or I'm gonna do some winter mapping. I'm not sure yet, it's just whatever I feel like doing, to be honest. Your vote is in music, huh? I recently figured out how to stream audio from Cubase to stream. Ever since I upgraded to Cubase 9.5, that uses 64-bit plugins only, and I was using a plugin before to take audio from Cubase to the stream because my audio card uses Cubase exclusively. So while I use Cubase, other applications cannot access my sound card at the same time, and that's how it keeps a minimal response time, like between the time I press on the keyboard and the audio comes. The delay there's very short, and that's how. So I couldn't get the audio to stream until recently. So I can finally stream making music. Would you look at that? This was a brute. I didn't give the other one equipment, I think. Oh, we did, huh? That's the kind of things I forget, like what I've talked to people about. Goes full R whoosh over my head. This guy should probably be a knight or a fighter. Oh, they do have equipment, alright. Oops. Hey Ryan. Yeah, it's been a long time since I streamed actually. I remember that it's not studio. So why is this guy's align? That's probably because these root templates were used inside of the fort, and the other one was RC Magisters. So I'm gonna do this as RC Magister as well. Actually, RC Magister are definitely hostile, I think, to players. Fortune Beach Magisters. I'm gonna try to remember that. siege. Let's see what their alignment is. I wish there would just be a minimize button, like no extra option. Doesn't really matter, I guess. Yeah, I guess they're neutral. Good. Mm. No, I don't want to. I gotta sneeze. Hold on. Am I gonna sneeze? No? Priest shouldn't have a club. Come on. You have a staff. With holy water. Did I set alignment? I don't think I did. Alright, let's just keep these 3 for now. Just need something to work with. What else would I possibly want with them? Perhaps a dialogue. Shared one. Or are you just reading Discord messages? Cool. What else? I would probably maybe want to... Let's just leave it at that for now. I can add more later. Oh, I'm missing something. Too much information, Thomas. Alright, so I'll try to speak loudly to talk through my thought process. So there'll be several areas in Fort Joy. This script is just a global script, and the different regions will handle where and when, or at least where. So where doesn't really matter in this script. But like if you have a map and you split that into 4 regions, or 4 spawn points, or 4 spawn areas. Let's just do some pseudocode meanwhile. What if we did region based? So we have areas and we have first the region. I think it's FJ, Fort Joy, Main, I think. Let's check. I believe that's the same. Yeah. So we could technically check that if the spawn event happens and the region is whatever matches up with the database, then it knows spawn box. This is just pseudocode, so ignore it. And an index for that. Could that work? Maybe. No. Okay, so now I guess the region the player is in, which matches up with patrol areas. Though, doing it this way, I limit myself to having the exact same amount of different areas. Because I'd want to spawn the patrols individually, not like all at once. First question is, how or when does patrol spawns happen? It could be as boring as doing it every time the character level up. It could be a timer, but I don't really want to leave too much stuff hanging on timers. But then again, we don't want things to spawn indefinitely. So say that if it were to, for example, spawn patrols when character level up, it's not checking if the current ones are dead or alive. So if the player would level up 3 times before you even find this area, then there would be 3 sets of patrols possibly. And you don't want that. I'm gonna leave this behind for now. I actually want to do some mapping, and then I could do music. I wonder why Reaper's Coast took so long time now. So, right now I intend to start, like this is a fresh start, haven't really properly started on it yet, mapping Ilheim for chapter 2. To kind of get things going there as well. And so far I'm thinking to have the passage to Ilheim up here, like going along this wall here and out towards Ilheim. And once we get to the level, you'll see that I briefly started to kind of try to reproduce something that would fit to be stuck inside there. But I'm not sure if I want to have it there though. Another idea was to have it behind this dude here as well. Welcome back, Thomas. Which I think it could be cool. to have the way to Ilheim up here as well. I've also noticed that grass instance painting doesn't load for me in Reaper's Coast for some reason. This music was too loud, I feel. Too stressful. So I feel like I want to leave the entrance area to Ilheim slightly open for adjustment, so I'm not going to do the exact bit that connects. Bit connect. Because it couldn't be over there. Alternatively, I faintly remember there is this guy. You know, there could be like a way, if we'd modify this to have a pathway through the valley towards the mountains. That could be cool. That would remind me a bit of what's the place in Ocarina of Time with a mountain with the fire, the volcano. Though it wouldn't really fit here because I haven't written any narrative as to why the path to Ilheim would be, you know, this broken. I think this is rather supposed to illustrate the way to the home of the elves, like with all the death fog and with Lucian bombarding them. I feel like this is supposed to illustrate like the elves would live that direction. I'm actually not sure what Lauren meant by this, other than being cool. I don't think they ever like followed up on what's supposed to be further on here. I don't remember that being mentioned in the game. I might be wrong though. Hey Dima. What do you mean music trigger? You mean V-Vice stuff? So, like I said, let's leave the start of Ilheim rather open for change. So I'm going to have to do a bit of deleting as well. Right, so the first place I pointed, you can see that I've sort of started the same structure that was there, but I'm not happy with this at all. It's too like long of a stretch to run. There needs to be something here. So now I just want to remove all of this really. All items on the level. Let's start blank. Pew. Pew. Bye bye to you as well. I wonder why that happens sometimes, where you delete stuff and it remains. It goes away when you reload though, so I'll do just that. I'm drinking this battery energy drink. I haven't had them in ages. I think the last one was when you were here, studio. It's been a while already. You'll have to let me know, like, in advance this time. I need to reorganize these at some point as well. Time to flatten some terrain. In case anyone's wondering, a ton of the assets you see on screen right now, most of the snow stuff, comes from TT's studio in the chat. He did an amazing job on it as well. Alright, so most of this is going to be Winterland, so I'm just going to make the base snow. That's not the same one, is it? What's the bottom here? What did I use there? Not that one. Is it really this one? Alright. It just didn't look the same. Because it isn't the same. Let's remove all of that as well. Let's do everything from scratch. Why is that not going away? Question mark. Same with those as well. Let's get rid of everything. Good. The oldest one is probably the atmosphere. First to our start points. That's the atmosphere, okay. They can stay. Well, hey, thank you, studio. The notification popped up. Cool. Thank you. Ah. Yeah, I'm not sure where you set that up. I think it looks good here now, though. I want to check that out, actually. Where all that happens. Well, I can read it manually since it says so in my log here. Yeah. Just a little just a tiny donation for a bad student. Thank you. I am technically a bad student. I'm doing this instead of studying. So that would be very correct. Alright, where were I? Was I? Snow. Do you remember which one we ended up on? Was it A or B? Do you remember when you changed the snow a bit? I'm gonna add both. We'll see soon enough. Yeah, I'll try both. Hold on, I haven't seen this before. This is some sort of test you did, probably. I'm gonna add it just to see what it looks like. It's probably gonna be broken. Oops. I wish you could make... Hold on, I'm gonna add this. I have this document that I'm providing Larian stuff for future patches and things like that. I wish you could, like, set up a template of the combination of terrain textures, so you don't have to, like, prefabs or yeah, prefabs for terrains, you know, with textures and all that. I don't think you can any other way. What does this do? No. Because that would be really cool to have. Yeah, precisely. I think that would be super great. Then I need to add a new tab in a document as well. I haven't added one for mapping yet. Assets and resource browser. Let me just copy that. Add a new one above. Call it... Actually, I think it would make sense to have that under engine user interface. Don't you think? Terrain, texture, layer, manager. You can call it that. A way to store a collection of added terrain textures. Quickly load on new textures. A prefab for terrain texture layout, if you will. I'll leave that for now. Norbite makes everything. He kind of does, to be honest. If something's missing, you can trust Norbite to go crazy. Crazier, I should say. I never remember which ones are the ones I prefer, so I always have to add all of them and then check them and remove the ones I don't want. It's tedious. Hey Heinz, how's it going? I'm not going to be using very much sand for a wintry volcano area. Might do scorched earth though. Possibly ice as well. I'm not sure how these looks in combination with your stuff, TT, but we'll try. Yeah, I probably should do that, Heinz. We were just talking about, I have this document that I'm developing for Larian for stuff. Things that I pick up on that the community wants, and things they point out of shortcomings, stuff that, you know, would make the modding experience better. Yes, I think it's 50 studio. 30 or 50. I have reached it a couple of times. Alright, so time to filter through them. So these were the different snow ones. I like the left one better. This looks a tiny bit orange. Is it just me? It looks like sand. This is some other stuff you've been tinkering with. Even though I think it's actually the sand one we went with. Nope. Here's one. Well, yeah. This one's... Do you think people will notice? I do. But if you blend them a bit, then maybe. Oh, this is another one. Change the default settings, like let it save what you've set there. User interface, engine user interface. Turn interaction mode options. Texture, paint, tool, strength. Yeah, the ones below here is the base. And yeah, it is a lighting thing. I could definitely, you know, adjust. Though I think I prefer the whiter one. With this atmosphere anyway. That's not what I meant to do. Which one of those is that? Snow A. Rock Slate B. Okay, cool. Now what's this? Brown stuff. What's this stuff? It's called Ilheim. It's for Act 2 of Chronicles. It's an extension to Reaper's Coast with a wintry area and a volcano. No, I'm starting fresh. I'm not using the old one from the old streams. That was based on the old Chronicle story before the outline was rewritten. So first, let's make a physical notation for myself. Which direction Reaper's Coast is. Over there is Reaper's Coast. Alright, so you come in along one of those entrances that I showed earlier. And the initial idea is that you have a slight transition into that. And there are two ideas. There's one is like from The Lord of the Rings. You have this scene with Gandalf and the crew walking along this wintry mountain path where what's his name? Not Sauron, but Saurfang. No, not Saurfang. That's World of Warcraft, I think. What's that guy's name? The Gandalf 0.5 dude. Saruman. Yes. Makes this avalanche down on them. So that's like one scenery that's been in my mind. The other one is more foresty, like a slower transition from Reaper's Coast-esque terrain to into winter. I'm not fully sure like how I'd make that, but I feel like that would make more sense to connect with the Reaper's Coast. And it's like Fangorn in snow. What's that? But I definitely think I want start to be Reaper's Coast. Oh, I'm not that geographically familiar with Lord of the Rings, but you're probably right. We don't need that anymore now that it's green. So, in the first area in Reaper's Coast, there's this like very tiny valley in Paradise Downs. I don't want it to be a stretch, though there is an ocean. Let's put up some visual markers. Slight. Hello? Am I missing some textures? I'll remember this. Let's leave that over there so I don't forget it. But what happened with my water? Yeah, there are missing textures. Come on, engine. Let me... Thank you. Data Public Chronicles. That's materials. Yeah. Stuff missing. Good to dig through it back up then. The thing is, this water needs to match the water in Reaper's Coast, which I believe is the same water used in Fort Joy. The same texture. Backups. Oh. Public Chronicles. Those assets, materials. It's not water flow map. Am I going crazy? Definitely missing. Weird. I don't dare open Fort Joy now. Oh, I'll just have to recreate them. See, all of these are white as well. I think I need to reinstall the game. I feel like there's files missing. No. Super weird. Look at that later. I'll just hide the hole in the middle here. This is another thing I added in a document. Like the terrain indicator has been weird ever since Definitive Edition came out. It focuses on items and stuff as well, so if you have something above the terrain and you want to interact with the terrain, then it can get really painful. Like now it tries to paint on the water, not on the terrain beneath it. It's terrible. Absolutely disgusting. No, it's not cut. It's the water above it is interfering with like if I do this, you know, see there's no cut terrain here. It's just having a hard time using the level tool. What do you call this? Flatten terrain with anything like above it. So if I were to have a tiny object in the air here, yeah, it's just a pet peeve, you know, because it wasn't like that in Classic. And I want the water there to it is already. Well, I'll just paint manually, it's fine. Just faster that way than tinkering with something that's broken. Yeah. That's a good point as well. Though, this water texture you don't really see much beneath a certain depth. Though you could leave some points like this a bit higher just to have some variation in the water. Yeah, the water is a water plane, a scenery object. Need to go and see something. So it's a bit rocky. We could use that as well. And maybe a couple more crashed boats in the water as well. And it could rotate a bit right. Go like down sideways. Which would make this, instead of an ocean, this would be like... yeah, I think that will work. So the actual ocean is this way. And it will go through... Maybe the passage from here is more like a natural nature formation forming a bridge. Or, you know, a gap underneath, and there's water coming out here. And then there's a cliff like this on the left side as well that shapes Ilheim. So this become more of a... I don't know what you call it in English. Like a fjord. Almost. Yeah. I've never seen that before. How do you get that in the game? It's from, you have to be here, don't you? And teleport it, probably. And I'm going to be super lazy. Wow. My Fort Joy is actually faster than Reaper's Coast. Maybe it's the streaming or OneDrive not being up. Well, it's still going to be faster than doing all of this manually. This is another thing I wish you could do. Turn off these green border indicators. Just have a purple overlay and not anything green. They pay no purpose for mapping. They're just a nuisance. Clutter on the screen to make it harder to see. I've requested that for a long time, ever since early Classic. They never gave us that option though. Somewhere on my computer I have a level template of every single building in the campaign. Not that I ever use them, but I have it. I used a couple of them in Fort Joy. Well, might as well catch up on the in Discord chat between item loading. So they just used one big rock right there. Another big one. Well, it's not stupid if it works. Yeah, they're just in a way. And I swear, those green markers, I've said this all the time, and I'm perfectly convinced about it. Even though these items aren't selected, the data that those green containers contain within the engine are still always active. So the more items you add, the less performance you get in the map. But here's the kicker. If you do what I did and take all of the scenery in your huge level and turn it into a level template and use those instead in the engine and just delete the old loose files like this, the performance is boosted insanely because the engine counts all of the... Like if this purple that I've selected was the level template, instead of being individual files, the engine counts that as one item rather than 50. Just one set of green borders, not however many this is. So when I made 4 or 5 sets of level templates to contain Four Joy Isles, the performance difference was night and day. So I'm convinced that these green markers, they do nothing for mapping, and they also reduce engine performance, I'm sure of it. Let's grab a... Actually, that's not necessary. Alright, lazy mode on. Come on. Do I not have Norby's patch installed? Should have. No, I haven't had it delete them. Right now level templates don't work as they are supposed to anyway. When you make new ones, old ones work fine. Yeah, this was Norbite, are you still here? Hold on, I'm gonna message him. There's a viewer list on Twitch. See, I'm actually a Twitch noob, so I don't even know that there's a viewer list at all. That's weird, Ryan. Well, at least it's better than what it was in Classic. Level templates just didn't store instances at all. So I painted all of my vegetation in Fort Joy multiple times. And as soon as I was done, Larian finally released instance painting support for level templates, like the day after. So I spent a week painting vegetation manually first. So it's kind of comedical. I'm gonna check something, like... I'm currently testing some stuff from Norbite, and I believe maybe those files are overwriting the patch that fixes prefab making. No, it doesn't have a DXD file, so it shouldn't. Nice, okay. So, That makes me wonder why. Maybe I just don't have it currently. Yeah, plug in 3, 4. Come on, I want prefab. I'll try one more time. Actually, you know what? I'll group these. So I can quit. Yeah, because I haven't opened the Reddit. What's the chance that anyone are ever gonna edit these files? Slim to none. And even if they do, it doesn't matter. If they overwrite it, that's perfectly fine because I'm not gonna actually move them. Even though this goes against my design philosophy. I can just remove it later. Undo my mess. Any word from Kevin yet, Norbite? Oh, I think it deselected now. No, it was fine. So I'll restart the engine. I'll make sure that I have the update. I need to be in the right folder. Hold on. Replace 3 files. So this is old, okay. I just downloaded this from Discord. Alright, cool. I'll update the resources as well. Because I think the 0.5 is the one in here. Yeah. Oh. It's sad to see when you witness other modders like lose energy when some bullshit happens. Yeah, I lost the blue TM. No more blue. You message it to me on Discord, Norbite, and I'll move this away from the stream. Yeah, you probably need to link it up Discord. Don't remember the code. Yeah, I did. Weird. Thank you, thank you. I'll just update the Larian Discord right now while I remember it. Yeah, do you enjoy watching? There's only one answer to that. The answer is no. Is this something you ever posted on the Discord, Norbite? Because I never found this link. And I copied the pinned messages for the resource channel, so that means it wasn't pinned somehow. Or maybe there's double pins and I picked the old one. Okay, so you'll just post in the well, maybe I shouldn't have updated the resource channel then. Shall I remove it? I'm gonna re-update the link, and you can just post whenever you feel like it's publishable. That sound like a good deal? And I'll see if my engine crashes and burns using the 0.61 or not. Oh, we have a data folder in here as well now. Genome. What have you added here? Blend out. Ragdoll. What sort of stuff are you up to here? Move, start, move, stop. Top secret. I'm gonna inspect it on the other screen then. And I suspect the other one should be. Oh, I don't know, to be honest. Do I even need to place this anywhere yet? And if so, is it data editor config path? Like, does the 4 files in the main directory rely on this? Or can I just ignore it? Okay, cool. But it's in this path, yeah. Data editor config. And then a new folder for genome. Might as well test it fully while I'm here. Shh, super secret stuff. I think it's music time soon. I have that, you know, I feel like it. I think I'm gonna do mapping until 10 o'clock and then switch over to some music. Yeah. I hope Kevin brings something useful soon. Oh, hello, music. Speaking of music. Question is, why wasn't the music playing earlier? Why now? Hey Demiurgus. How's it going? Speaking of music. Yeah, now it works. Although with so yeah, I was just missing some patch stuff. That makes me wonder. What if I try creating a level template now? The one in the background? Even Torrent, yeah. Ivan Torrent. He's a really talented composer. Like, if I was half as good as him, I would be happy. Him a quarter. Good. I'll finish listening to this song and then I want to play the one I was thinking of. I contacted a guy that made a cover of one of the original Sin 2 music tracks, and I want to use it in Chronicles because I just think he did a really good job and I want to feature it. Right, so we're over here. And I can stand dark shadows. That's the first thing I switch every time. So if I do something like this. So imagine that this cliff from Reaper's Coast would be... Let's do a demo for now. So if this is the Reaper's Coast version over here, and then you have Paradise down there. Then we'll need something to go underneath here as well. You really want me to sing, don't you? Maybe one day. Not today. See, this is another thing. The terrain indicator now, after Definitive Edition, it moves after any sort of scenery or object above it. When, even if, you couldn't even do anything to these things with the terrain tool. So it shouldn't even, these doesn't exist in the eyes of the terrain tool, so it shouldn't react to them. In my opinion. I don't know if you were here earlier, Ryan, but I'll mention it for Demiurgus as well. I have a document where I'm secretly in the background writing down stuff that I pick up on from the community. Things they, wish were different in the engine that I provide to Larian. So if you ever find something, hey, it would be nice if this was different or changed or improved or whatever in the engine, just send me a note. Now, the reason why it's 2, 1, 51. Oh, never mind. It's this one I want. So 0.25. The reason why I always want to flatten, I'll lower the music now. The reason I want to flatten terrain beneath water is that 1, you can't see it, and 2, all of these bulges. These small indifferences in terrain, while it's underneath water and you don't see it, it's still is generated by the AI grid, and the more changes you have in the AI grid, the more information you have in the AI grid, and that makes it bigger. And AI grid also really impacts the level performance as well. So you don't really want AI grid stuff happening where it doesn't need to be, So that's why I want to flatten stuff underneath water, because it doesn't matter visually, and it also helps on performance to keep it simple. So that's why I temporarily moved the water away, so I can just do this. Floating rock, bye bye. Yeah, it would surely add some extra shadows as well. And shadows are one of the most performance hungry things in games. So you definitely don't want shadows you can't even see going on. It's just pointless. cool. The music went away. Okay. I'm going to pull up that song I mentioned. Let's see here. Now it's very similar to the original, but I actually want to show his video as well. 2 seconds. Things are really well, like, done. So yeah, really talented guy. I'm gonna drop the link in the chat, in case you guys wanna check out the. And he doesn't just do Rivallon, or he has other covers as well. Super cool, super good, talented dude. Okay, so the idea is that you have like the fortress with the dwarves and stuff here, Paradise Downs, and there's that cliff we stole, and I'm gonna of course change this a bit to not have, it's very unorganic right now. It's just a visual indicator for myself. If you ever watch any of my old streams, you'll see that I tend to like to put down just visual markers to kind of know where things are and where things are going, what's supposed to be where, all that sort of stuff. Now, right here is something I have an issue with. One of the things I dread in mapping is any long stretch of stuff. Like as a player, you start here and you just run one direction. That's boring. So something needs to happen. And it could be a stretch, but something needs to happen along this stretch. So I'm thinking a waypoint. At the very least. And we need to do something with this as well. I need to check one more thing in Reaper's Coast as well. I forgot to take a screenshot. That was a good suggestion, studio. Oh yeah, that's what you meant by toilet. Yeah, that's right. The outhouse. Sorry, I'm just looking at something on the other screen. Something I cannot show. Like, it's one of the best, worst feelings when you see cool stuff and you just want to tell everyone, but you can't. It's annoying. Yeah, I would definitely categorize that as 18 plus. If I would choose between watching adult stuff or that, I would watch that. So it's just more of these cliffs. So if the passage were to go from here and over there, it could just be cliffs like this and a passageway similar to this through whoosh, with water. Yeah. That will work. And the terrain is grass, some pebbles, the moss rocks. And that's all the terrain is. One thing I've noticed with Larian terrain is that there's actually very little going on. It's just a base texture and then some stuff. I still don't know why I don't see grass in Reaper's Cuts though. But I'm sure it shows in game. So I'll just do something like this. Like that. Yeah, I do too. The mapping is Ryan. And much of the systems and new gameplay and all that It's just a polish, implementing some quests, adding some missing stuff right now. But I cannot finish that until the engine patch come out and the patch after that. Because Larian will look at broken level templates after the next engine patch comes out, which should be soon, mind you. But they still have to do it after. Well, they add more bugs than they fix, to be honest. So, I agree. Just want everything working, and that's it. Okay, so that's there. Then we need to have opening of sorts. Suddenly got very quiet without music. Hold on. That's fair enough. definitely add there to make that more more. Which ones are these again? Yeah, they're matching. Though the ones in Reaper's Coast weren't with moss. Hmm. Put down one for reference. Galaxy, what's this? Holy moly, why? You're right, you did have something. Okay, yeah, okay. So some old ones, I think. I remember those. I actually think those looks better. Let's see. The reason I wanted some of this it blends in pretty well, I think. It's right here. That what I'm after is it's like an extra bump map or something on top, it feels like. If only the base rock here was the same. I think this one is actually. See if they match up. I still feel like I want to press this out even more. Let's see if we can do that. Yeah, they're from TT Studio. He spent a good, like, I don't know how long you spent on him. There's a period where he did a ton of asset stuff. They're really good. Oh, the winter stuff is something he did as well. And he did a mighty fine job on it. Though I did share my project files with Larian, and a couple of months later they had Fallen Heroes trailer out with winter stuff that looks suspiciously the same. Just saying. Now, if you didn't catch on already, what I'm doing here is I'm avoiding having just straight slopes of cliffs. I think I showed... who was it? Was it you, Heinz? That I did some mapping on stream with? I forget these things right away. You probably know exactly what I'm up to right now. Okay, so a few more touches and you're going to see exactly what I'm doing. For the rest of you. Foul language. The asses were so good that he started cussing. That's how good they are. Yeah, you did. The good ones. There was one more thing. A couple more things. just to kind of hide. Not that this matters, but I'm kind of detail freak like that, because people are going to see this from above anyway, so it doesn't really matter if it floats a bit there. Because what the player's going to see is basically this. So anything further below than that, the camera lock would stop about here. So we need, well, actually I wouldn't care too much about like this end right now, because this is the connecting bit towards Reaper Coast, so that will actually be done in Reaper's Coast itself, because it's hard to predict exactly how things line up, so you'll have to do a bit of mapping to connect the two at the very end. Now, that was one side. Meanwhile, there's the dwarf and path down. So I feel like what we want here, I'm gonna bring 2 pieces of acid up. I'm gonna bring that. And that. Another useful trick for mapping that I can't share it enough, is that if you have flat terrain like this, like anywhere you have flat terrain, first you do some textures, just simple textures. Like I'm gonna do a quick one. Let's sort some stuff that I like. Where's the earth grass? I'll show you my routine. At the bottom I have the base, and I have grass, and I have earth grass. That's almost always how my start goes. And I start just roughly painting the path with the earth grass. Now, this looks ugly as hell. Like it's something you do on your very first map, and then you realize that it can be a lot better. So first I just draw the path I like, and it should never be, you know, symmetrical or straight. So just like right now it doesn't really matter. Just leave it like that. Then I'm gonna make just very tiny changes in the terrain. My point was that you have sort of moss rocks that blends in, and just if you put them in the walkable terrain, partially in the terrain, and then lift them up a bit. This could even poke slightly over the walkable terrain. And even if you wanted to have a combat encounter, this could be a platform to stand on. Often in real life you'll have these sort of, oops, bunches of rocks that kind of sticks in with gaps underneath them. You know, maybe plant life like shadows. There might be a fern there, some grass. Like that. I'm gonna do 0.9. Close grass. 0.1. Add some grass around this. And suddenly, just that part of the terrain is not very boring at all. Then if you do this like that, and then perhaps you have a platform on top here with a tree on it. Of course, this doesn't look very natural at all, I would say. So what if we lower that just a tiny bit? Make sure it doesn't really mess anything up. Why is it blocking stuff? Hold on, I'm going to turn that off. I'm not sure why. It doesn't like you, Heinz. Hold on. I think it's a cloud bot and word protection. Let's just turn off everything. I'm not a big streamer, so it's not like I need all of this. Caps lock protection is staying though. Okay, I think it's saved now. Now try saying whatever you wanted to say, Heinz. Yeah, let's blame the assets. Nice picture, studio. What does the fox say? Though I don't like this bit. Okay, Heinz. So if you have, like, I have this rock selected, and you can press the numbers to switch between tools, right? If you press 2, you get the movement tool. So while that's up, you hold down Control, and then you right-click with a mouse. And you can just... Then you have full control, you know? You guys have weird keyboards. Weird. I hate when you miss just slightly. This is the mass select tool instead. I don't hate it. That's a bit harsh. Staurung. I can't speak German for shit. Reaper's Ghost isn't too overgrown, so I don't want to overdo myself, I think. Doesn't fit. Alright, so the waypoint could be around here. Well, let's put on an AI seeder. That's new. Oops. I think it's faster actually. The terrain on this level is just pretty big. Hold on, I'm just editing something in the Discord. I was adding fire on dubs pack to project to the modding resources on Discord. Now that's stored for others to find. Guys, if this is the wall of Reaper's Coast, that's about 3 seconds of running. Then you'll find a waypoint, and then it already starts transitioning into the leading of Idheim. That's not too bad. That doesn't feel like a long stretch at all. Just gonna leave him there for now. I'm not fully sure how I want to design that yet. But he represent the waypoint. I could use it as well to make a change in the path so he can be in the middle. Then you kind of go around him. Like he's one of the first things you meet going into the forests leading into the Saint Thomas, the wise wizard of Germany. Something. Weren't there this is all slate. Wasn't there that's what I was looking for. They're huge. I don't like this track that's playing at all. We never actually sorted through terrain stuff. Plant should be high up. That's good. Snow should probably be somewhere in the middle. It's a floating lava. Scorch, that can go. Bye bye. Same with that as well. Bye bye. That can probably stay. Rock slate should also be somewhere in the middle. Actually a bit lower. Because you can use that to make, again, more variation in the terrain, make it less boring. It makes sense to have those close to rocky stuff sometimes. I don't really like the long ones. This one is better. Because what you can do, here's a nice little terrain painting trick I like. It should be beneath snow as well. Is you can like have the small touches of rock, right? Let's add them where it makes sense. Maybe some over here. And there-ish. And all they need to do above that is have the right kind of oh, that's the ugly one. Like for example plants, just a few touches above it and it looks like overgrowth. Like the rock has been there for a while and grass has started growing above it again. You can do the same with the walkable terrain as well. Couple of leaves around the tree. You know, it makes sense that leaves would have fallen down here. And the wind and the trees above. So much horns in this music. I don't like this playlist at all. Oh, this is gonna make you sleepy. This sounds better. This sounds promising. Again, I don't fully know what I want to do with this guy. So I can't exactly texture paint around him. Which one of these? That's the ugly one. This is the rocky one that we saw further in Reaper's Coast, so we're going to need to use that to match them as well. To fit the theme. I don't think this fit in at all. This is not going to be visible anyway. Forest is useful. That one is useful. Though it should be further down. I think we're going to use Mud Sea, but I'll keep it. I'm not really sure we're going to need this one either. In this case, well, actually, it could be some decent, tiny, possibly path texture variation if we put it a bit further down, like above the rubble. That one is also good. Bit too much. Ooh, that fits. Maybe not. Holy hell, the Lorien ice is bright in comparison. Holy moly. Ooh, that's gross. But we might use it. I don't know yet. It's past 10 o'clock actually. There's a bit of music time soon. Yeah. Oops, no, that's not where I meant to click. I'll do a small BRB, and after that I'll do some music. I think it's enough mapping and tinkering for now. Oh, my mic was muted. Are you still here, studio? I'm gonna need your help with something. Or anyone else for that matter. Otherwise, I'm just gonna have to trust that it works. I might lose audio for a moment. I'll actually see that on the audio meter if it stops showing input. I believe that should be it. I just need to tell me that you can hear my voice, and also in a moment if you can hear the instruments from Cubase. That's all. So I'm just gonna add something. Omnisphere, I guess. Oh, I'm hearing double. I had this issue before. What was causing that? So it's definitely this that does it. Oh, okay. I think I did this. Yeah. Alright, can you hear the guitar? Okay, cool. Good. Alright, so, like, what I mean to make here is, in Chronicles, you have this back end section of Amadia's sanctuary down with the Seekers. And there's kind of the shoreline with the beach. That's where you get the boat. Currently there's no music there, and I want a very instrumental, very toned down version of the Rivlon theme. You don't hear any guitar? So you hear the keyboard clicking, but no. Hold on. I think I know what it might be. I need to add an audio source for the thing I'm routing the audio through. Probably. So if I call this Keybase Audio. Okay. Now you should hear it. Right. You hear this? I see. Okay, cool. Good. Now, this is one thing I haven't really thought about. The way my microphone is placed compared to the keyboard is kind of awkward. So I can't actually face the keyboard and have the microphone at the same time. Yeah, there is probably 7 seconds, 10 seconds. I'm actually on Wi-Fi, so it could be even more. But yeah, what I was saying is I want a toned down version of the Rivlon theme. And now, anything I know about music and game design and anything really is almost completely self-taught. So I do not read notes. Everything is by ear. And I'm looking for, I've reorganized my bookmarks. Let's see. I'm going to skip around to, I believe it's around 50. Let's go to E minor or E major. Actually, maybe I can look up Rivlon. I can read some notes. Divinity original sin to notes. Of course, you get patch notes. Note sheet, maybe. Oh.
Hey guys, for
Hey.
Divinity.
Okay. Oh, this bothers me that the audio is out of sync with what you see. Oh, he's gonna tilt me. Is this Sibelius? All I remember is face upside down. So this middle one is F and A and C and E. Although A is age in Norwegian. I need to turn on this. I haven't read notes in 10 years maybe. Here's the bass line is. Okay. If we do the bass line first, I'm actually gonna use a different instrument so we can hear the difference. Which one shall we use? Let's do a piano. This is actually one of the largest sample sets of all of them. This is one of the ones that takes the longest to load. Here we can see the notes playing on the bottom. So that's fun. Let's place it on the stage as well. You can hear. I remember the first time I ran into this tool, it's amazing. Just make a 3D space of audio instead of just panning. We'll call that piano. Been a while since I've been in here. I like San Francisco. See what it sounds like. I feel like it's missing a thump. Is it just me? It's a bit hollow. Tiny bit better. This tangent, I don't know what you call it, on my keyboard is getting a bit old. It's a lot harder to press. So I constantly have to adjust in the MIDI notes later to even out the volume. I think the piano sounds a bit better. Let's play with that. We're gonna be a bit naughty. We'll do that off screen. Okay, cool. Cool studio. Thank you for the donation and thank you for coming to hang out. And you sleep well. I'll try to stream more often. Just busy with school and, you know, spoiler stuff. Maybe I'll come around to actually stream some spoiler stuff too. And then it's just up to viewers to consider if they want to or not. That one maybe. That one seems to work. File. I wonder if that will change the key. Move that there. Make a loop, if I can remember how. Like that. Can't. It sounds like I. That's a D. Is it? No, it's not. F A. That's an F. Just go full octave. Is that it? don't feel like that's right. It doesn't feel right. That's better. Actually, you know what? I think I'll make dinner, which I'm about 6 hours late to do. And then I'll figure this out in my own pastime. Because this is going to be a lot back and forth, I feel. It's been a long time since I've been in here. So I think I'll call the stream there. And I'll try to stream more often. So thanks to everyone who came to hang out. It was nice seeing everyone again. And actually, you know, talk a bit more with people. So I hope those of you enjoyed it, learned something. We have reviews some View on Demand as well. You lingered a bit. Cool. Good night, everyone. I'll see you next time.